Coming up next on BBC Two, it's the BradWOTO stream. But first, it's time for...
What's under the orange flannel?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Time for another fantastic edition of What's Under the Orange Flannel. With me, your host. Specific answers only, please. What's under the orange flannel today? Can you guess what's in there? Pumpkin seeds, a bottle of iron tablets, crack, salted peanuts, Tylenol, someone doesn't know that I'm English, EP Go Boing pills, all of Brad's baby teeth, a ballistic missile.
Activating combat mode.
Can you guess what's under the orange flannel today? If you guess it correctly, I'll give you advantage on your first check in D&D. What do you think's under there?
Was ist unter dem orangefarbenen Flanell?
All of Brad's baby teeth. Do you think? It was in fact, you were so close, Lolly. Vitamin D3 plus K2, 98%, all trans MK7. Vitamin D contributes to the normal function of the immune system. Vitamin K contributes to the maintenance of normal bones. A food supplement. You fools. Of course. How could you have been so blind? Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream everyone. It is Sunday, my dudes. I feel just tippity top 10 out of 10 Beth, we don't have Tylenol in this country. I don't even know what that is. British equivalent of Tylenol. It's just paracetamol. Okay. I got some co-op paracetamol. It's got maize starch in it. So I take them to get rid of headaches, and then it gives me a headache. Yes, I love being allergic to that shit. I love it so much. Hi Dan, that was foolish, wasn't it? What have you been told about subscribing on a Sunday? Gotta wait. Gotta wait, man. Gotta wait. Jay the Way doesn't wait. Jay the Way sneaks in half an hour before the stream. Every time. It kills Shadow though. Shadow gets so upset, man. Every time someone subs before we start playing D&D, Shadow's fucking hands break the side of his desk a little more.
You son of a bitch. That could have counted towards the wheel spin, you fool.
Well, thanks for the cash anyway, Dan. We play D&D on a Sunday, and there is a mechanic in which you can spin a wheel. A wheel. And random things happen on every 10 subs. Also, Twitch is giving extra subs. So it's going to fuck everything up, I think. For every 5 gift subs. Every sub Twitch gives, you get 1 XP. That's what we do. For every extra Twitch sub, you get 1 XP today. That's how we'll do it. Which is normally really useless, but you're like level 1, so it actually probably will be useful. You have 200 XP, you need 300. So what is that? How many subs is that? 300 XP. 5 times 100. No idea how to work that out. It's not possible, I don't think. I'm not sure they've invented that number yet. Mushy brain today. Sorry, Shadow. Yeah, you better apologize to him. Because he's everywhere. The only time you can't see him?
Nighttime. But he's still there. For he is the god of shadows. He lurks in every corner. He waits under every desk. Quietly. Waiting to strike if you sub too early.
Gift 5 sub to Twitch and get an extra Twitch sub. Ratch, back to bed, baby. Go back to bed. That's some of your worst writing I've ever seen. You know what? I'm keeping it. You know where it's going, right? It's going straight in my special folder. One of the worst ones. One of the worst ones. Wow. I'd like to play more Space Marine. We're playing it tomorrow with Leah and Maya. But I want to play it now. I've been thinking about it all weekend. It's been killing me. I've been thinking about it. I'm not a lore master. I've actually not watched anything. I watched one game. I watched Raoul Cooley play his first ever game, and it made me never want to play it. It just looks so confusing. I also hate tape measures. I find him scary. I'm a pussy. Remember Dab? I didn't dab until it was no longer cool, and then I did it all the time. Oh, I'm so tired. Banger. Tell me that ain't a banger. Try and tell me that's not one of the best songs that we've ever made in the entire thing. God damn, that's a good one. Big Man Space Marine. You can release the track. I think if I click this button and then click this button, release the track. It's still there. The dono goal continues. It continues. All proceeds go towards purchasing a pack of... What did I look up yesterday? Tau Battle Control Combat Patrol. The Tau Combat Patrol box set, which is £80 if I buy it from Beanie Games. Guys, the new Combat Patrol really isn't doing it for me. Guys, the new Combat Patrol really isn't doing it for me. Masturbating as hard as he can over this. As a standalone Combat Patrol, yeah, it's a bit meh. But if a player buys this before expanding to 2K, they'll probably want everything in the box, which is good. If anything, have a meta combo. A breacher fish, of course. I'm sure we're all aware. In terms of combat patrols, it's pretty good. Admittedly, a fireblade would be nicer. Wouldn't you say? Having a battlesuit is also cool. Consider the DA box. Let's consider the DA... Hang on a moment. Before we're being rash. Before you're being too rash, consider the DA box. Gotta speak without really opening your mouth. Well, before we are being rash, why not consider the DA box, which has a Gravis captain and no Gravis models? Seems a recurring theme to try and get new collectors to expand into all the model range. No idea what he's talking about. This is the problem I keep seeing for every Combat Patrol box. The fanbase bitches say, in a Reddit bitching, the fanbase bitches saying, well, there's nothing I want in this box, completely forgetting that the box wasn't made for you to expand your already existing army. It was made for the person who's getting their first or a new 40k army and needs a cheap starting point. This is the reason I was told to purchase this box. On the upside, no stealth suits. I actually love stealth suits. They're cheap and relatively mobile action monkeys. The guide buff is just a bonus. I am particularly bitter because I have the XV15s and hate the 25s looks-wise. They also have seemingly been in like 500 Tau box sets over the past few years. Legitimately glad they aren't in this one. Commander, good. Devilfish, good. Fire Warrior, good. Pathfinder, have two already. The box still looks good to me. I will get one, but that's all. Mate, it's perfect for me. These are literally all the units I still need for my 1k list. Go for it then. God. Not even that toxic of an exchange on Reddit, but my god. Yeah, I watched that video and they were like, if you're going to start playing, buy the Combat Patrol box. And I went, okay. Now, obviously, the DA box is very important. I don't think anyone would disagree with you. I don't think anyone would disagree with you that the DA box is very important. That hurts so much. That hurts so much. Yeah, I don't know what any of it means. It costs £80, so donate today. No, don't really. We're gonna do an actual fundraiser maybe next month or something. It's now officially cold. I'm freezing. I should be wearing a hoodie and I'm not. I just sort of refuse to give in to it yet because I know that this is a long game. It's a long game. The British winter has become Frostpunk. where you have to be prepared for the fact that it's a fight. It is a marathon fight where you know that the death cold of January, the January, maybe even February death cold is coming for you. And if you can't survive October, is it even October? If you can't survive the end of September, if I put a hoodie on today, I'll be too warm for January. I will have wasted the appropriate amount of warm. Now, is that how it works? No. Is that how it feels in my brain? Yes. COVID season is back. We'll be the first to have it. Maya, obviously. Europe is very humid and hot, really. Is there like a heat wave coming? Because the last 2 nights here have been freezing. The night before last, it was 4 degrees. I think last night was 6 degrees or something. You won't feel benefit putting the coat on before you, when you go outside. Theory. I'm in London. London, mate. You sound like you're from London. You sound like you're from London. I'm here to say that London is January temperature isn't that cold, but somehow it feels fucking cold. Yeah, because people never take into account humidity. This country gets the extreme heat and extreme cold things. I mean, I watched this video where I think we watched it on stream, but the guy was saying that like you can get dry cold if you go out in it. Your beard and everything freezes, but you're still not as cold as if it's like humidity cold, because it's the water particles in the air that are freezing and sitting on your face or something. Something like that. A triple point, which is worse than super freezing. It just feels fucking horrible. Yeah. The fact that it was so cold, like it went from being pretty nice weather to just immediately frostpunk, end of the world cold. I mean, surely it's just some sort of like cold wind blowing in from Scandinavia or some shit. But it makes me very concerned for how cold this winter is going to be. On the plus side, I've got $48,000 in my energy bill thing that I've still yet to get back. So I love London, even in winter. Well, aren't you just so fucking full of love and greatness? Doesn't count if you're on holiday for a week. If you're on holiday for a week, it obviously doesn't count. Doesn't matter where you go. It's great because you're on holiday. Scum. I lived there, Brad. Bullshit. Broadway Market. You lived in Hackney and you fucking claim. Such a liar. How long did you live here? Broadway Market crime rate. 7 out of 10 high crime level. A year. Not long enough. You got to develop a true hatred for London. If you actually lived here, you'd hate it. I don't believe that. Mazman wasted that. Don't tell Shadow. Wasted that sub. Mazman. Top of the morning to you, Mazman. I washed my blankets this morning. Now, I don't know what Americans call a blanket, but it isn't what we call a blanket. But basically the little thing that you put on the sofa for winter just to keep your little toesies warm. And I've got 2 of them. I put one in the bed. I put one on the sofa. And they're washed and ready for winter. I spent the last 2 nights freezing my absolute tits off in bed. But my body's still doing this like hot and cold regulation thing. So I don't I think the cold is hitting me really, really badly when my body temperature drops suddenly, and I cannot take it. So I got up this morning and washed them. One is purple, it's right here. Hey, Brad. Yeah, I know. Brad, we don't give a shit about you or your life. We're just here to give you money and leave. Oh. I mean, that sounds like a nice exchange, but I actually would rather have the attention. Hey, it's Final Fantasy VI music. Actually, it's Final Fantasy 3 for you, you American, if you're going to be all Tylenol. You're going to claim you love London and be American and say something like that. You're going to say Tylenol instead of paracetamol, even though you apparently lived here, but you don't know that we don't have Tylenol. It's Final Fantasy 3. You can stick to your own disgusting offshoot of Britain country. Disgusting, wretched little American. Get out of here. You disgrace. You're a goddamn disgrace. The River of Thames. I actually lived there for a year along the River of Thames. I'm going to be travelling today to Plymouth. Why he's got that fucking... I'm getting the 8:45 riverboat train along the River of Thames down to Plymouth. Whatever his name is. Francois Bourgeois. This is how tall I actually am, and my desk doesn't go any higher, which means I have to make the camera go taller. I have to lean down the whole time I'm standing while streaming. This is how I would do the stream otherwise. Daredevil. The whole Daredevil. Hey, Brad, do an impression of Daredevil, easy. That's all he does the whole time. I'm on season 2 of Daredevil. That's how far I've made it through. I did watch Jessica Jones, by the way. It continues to be fucking brilliant. Daredevil 1, brilliant. Brilliant, but in a different way. Just really nicely, like, it's just a cool, they really sort of set the bar with it. Gritty, that gritty dark tone that is like sometimes really awful and you don't want it in your superhero movie, and sometimes it's really good and you do. Batman. Daredevil. You know, great, perfect. It said it so well. The fight scene in episode 2, the best. Great. My review, it was pretty good. Jessica Jones, season 1. There's very little to dislike about it. It's paced very well. I wouldn't say perfectly, but paced very well. Even the storylines, like randomly it will just be a storyline about Hogarth, who is a woman and played by Trinity in the show rather than in the comics, which I'm pretty sure Hogarth is just the most basic, average white bloke. And Hogarth has a Spanish opera subplot where she's banging the secretary and getting a divorce, and still that is good. You forgot it, didn't you? You forgot that was in Daredevil, but even that was pretty good. I was like, oh my god, she did not. She's such a bitch. You know, you're watching it like you're watching one of those soap operas. The whole thing's good. Nuke's in it. I straight up completely forgot that Nuke was in it. Does he ever show up again? Fucking give me a red. Shows up. Just straight up forgot he was in it. Captain America villain. soon as I saw him, I was like, oh my god, he's in this, isn't he? Pretty good. But generally, overall, the main storyline being Jessica Jones and the Purple Man, David Tennant, is so good. It is so good. It's just filled to the brim with allegory for what I imagine, and from what I understand, it is like being a woman. Just how annoying it must be to be a woman. From small little flippant comments to straight up like dangerous, toxic men. That experience. And you know, not all men, not all women, all that shit. But also, there's no doubt that men are awful. I'm fully on board with that. And they take all of those shitty little things that men do, and they take all of the really awful things that men do, and they combine them into this character and just like fucking blow it up. And it's beautiful. It's so well written. I love it so much. He does such a great job. He is one of my favorite actors in the world. I love him. And everything I remembered about him being great in this was true. And everything about how it was to watch was great. Really good. Fucking loved it, actually. Jessica Jones was great. And then I started Daredevil Season 2, which was the one with the Punisher in that I completely forgot. Like, I remember all of it vaguely, but I couldn't remember what was where, right? Because it was just like 4 or 5 years of that Defenders storyline on Netflix. They were kind of all in each other's shit. And I just watched the... I watched a bunch of it because I was sitting and working on stuff for a new show on Table Story called Non-Canon, which you may wish to tune in and watch next week. I just watched there's another hallway fight in The Punisher where he kills all the blokes in the fucking prison. God, it's good. That's good. But this season's kind of weird. It's all over the place. It's got it feels like 24, where they did like two stories in one season. Like The Punisher is the first half, and then Elektra is the second half, but then they kind of blend them at the end, and they just like the Punisher comes back. And they're like doing stuff with the hand, but you don't really give a fuck about the hand because you kind of... Honestly, I was way more interested in the Punisher storyline and couldn't care less about the other one, so I almost feel like they should have done it the other way around. They should have started with the Elektra storyline, but I mean, it's fine. I quite like that Elektra is just like a toxic ex-girlfriend that ruins his life. But I'm not very invested. I mean, the Hand are annoying anyway. I don't really know a lot about the Hand. I can't remember really ever seeing much about the Hand in the comics. I remember him showing up here and there, but I feel like they're just a random criminal organization that were just in existence so that Daredevil and Elektra had someone to fight every week. I don't give a shit about the Hand. Still, it's just got nothing on Wilson Fisk. That's the problem. And because the Punisher isn't like a full season villain, he's kind of a secondary hero, protagonist throughout the season. It's just it's sort of set up really weirdly, and the pacing goes all over the place because you're getting these different A and B plot lines switching constantly. The A and B plot line just keeps switching between the Punisher storyline and the Elektra Hand storyline, that it just feels so weirdly paced, which is kind of a shame because the entire Punisher stuff is great. And I don't know how I feel about the rest of it. So that's where I'm at. That's what I've been watching. It was hard watching the first Space Marine 2 VOD. I'm one of those Neurodivergent 40k fans and legit was like backseat every time a question arose. Well, if you'd been in the stream, you could have actually typed it. I'm actually into letting people neurodivergent the chat room during this playthrough. You know, I'm so sick of MCU Spider-Man, also known for those who aren't aware as Tom Holland, being centered around multiverse drama currently. Why is he now friendly universe Spider-Man rather than New York's neighborhood one? He's never been New York's neighborhood Spider-Man though. That's like honestly the main problem with this Spider-Man. Is Greg here? Because we could go down a rabbit hole, and I don't really want to because I want to play D&D. He has never been a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He just immediately became Iron Boy. Like he doesn't do any of that stuff. He's just instantly thrown into the big storylines, and like he's fighting off-world and shit. And then they introduced the multiverse, and like I love the Spider-Man multiverse stuff. Ben Reilly is my favorite Spider-Man. But you have to earn it, don't you? You got to earn it. And he hasn't really had a chance to just be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But then again, there's also the element of like, I know they're not going to do it, but they had the option to do it now, right? Because they did the mind wipe shit. And like high school, he wasn't really Spider-Man yet, I don't think. And I felt like that's what they were going for with the first three. Him like learning to become Spider-Man, and then he was going to become Spider-Man, and I thought they were going to bring it back down. Like everyone forgets about him, and he's just going to, then we get the college years version. And then maybe, you know, photographer Spider-Man. This Spider-Man has no hope of ever becoming a photographer though. He's never just going to be a Daily Bugle, photographer. Because he's already done so much shit. He's just got like access to all this stuff already. It's insane. But they refreshed everything. So I don't know. Like it felt like I was like, oh okay. They were just like, they were setting him up, and then they were going to give us a more classic Spider-Man. But I just don't think they are. He's literally never been a friendly neighborhood New York Spider-Man, which is honestly, I think, a major flaw in the Tom Holland Spider-Man. But I do like him as Spider-Man. I think the only things he's missing, I find him to be very interesting to watch in that role. I've enjoyed all of the Spider-Man movies that they've put out. But I think he's missing two vital things. I think the first thing that he's missing is that friendly neighborhood New York vibe. He was that for literally about 60 seconds before he just becomes fucking Iron Spider, Tony Stark, Iron Lad, whatever, you know, Iron Boy. Which I think is a shame. And two, he's not very funny. He's like, oh no, oh, where have I? Oh, I've dropped my, oh no, I've dropped the MacGuffin on the ground. And he's like, he's spending all of his time trying to hide his. There isn't, like, that's the comedy. The real comedy comes from Ned. But Spider-Man's hilarious. Spider-Man is like getting shot and stuff, and on death's door and like cracking a fucking pun. You know, he's like, and he roasts all of his enemies. Scorpion comes after him and he's like roasting him, you know, for being a bug when he's a bug, you know, or I don't know. He's like roasting all of his enemies and like quipping constantly. Is there a single quip in any of those movies? And I think, to be honest, those are the only two flaws, but I think they're kind of major Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man flaws to have. Which is why it's so weird, because the movies are good. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man for some reason, but he also just doesn't really feel like the Spider-Man that we're expecting and we get. Which is why, you know, Tobey Maguire sort of doesn't do it either, but he feels very much like the really basic, quintessential friendly neighborhood Spider-Man busting around New York, you know, just chasing after trying to save Mary Jane every day. Spider-Man. And Andrew Garfield feels more like the funny one, but also Tobey Maguire feels like the reporter photographer Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield feels like the scientist Spider-Man, because Peter Parker is also kind of genius level scientist. And Tom Holland is neither. He's more of an engineer, and he's got a bunch of Stark tech. But he doesn't have the quips. He doesn't spend any time in New York like just busting around saving people from some street level shit. And yet, I do enjoy the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I just can't, but he just doesn't feel authentic in that other way. So it's strange. I don't think I've always felt very conflicted about it, because there is a part of me that's like, well, this isn't Spider-Man. Spider-Man's supposed to be funny. But actually, I'm sitting there like, I'm enjoying this film. Eating my popcorn and having a fucking going into anaphylactic shock. But to the point, yeah, the multiverse stuff. Yeah, it's already annoying. And I think the only reason that they're doing multiverse stuff is because it's a quick and cheap and easy way to write in like shocking stories and bring back characters, and suddenly have Doom, be Robert Downey Jr. I think they're just having fun with it. And also it feels a bit like, and I've said this for a couple of years, but I feel like the general public, most people haven't had multiverse in their lives. Most people didn't watch Sliders. Most people didn't read the Spider-Man comics when they were coming out in the early 90s. So we haven't seen a lot of multiverse stuff. It's obviously there's examples of it in like random movies and shit. Jet Li's The One being one of my favorite multiverse films. But for the most part, people didn't really understand the multiverse. So for a lot of people, the multiverse stuff is actually kind of new and interesting, and I think that goes for a lot of the writers. And a lot of people are young. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm kind of old. I'm pushing 40. So I've been around for a few generations of like movies and social zeitgeists and stuff. And I feel like there's never really been a multiverse one. But for me, there has, because I watched a lot of sci-fi and I read comics when I was a kid. And so for me, the multiverse is like this ancient thing that I discovered when I was 6, and the whole like Madam Web, what was that storyline where they all went to that fucking planet and had to fight Spider-Man story? The multiverse stuff is like old school to my brain. But it feels like you have to earn it, man. And I don't think they have. The MCU. It ain't been around long enough. They're still establishing all of these characters. Peter Porker. Spider-Ham. I wonder whether the quips will get old quick. Well, I feel like Andrew Garfield did it. And they wouldn't get old quick because every Marvel movie is constantly just trying to be the funniest guy in the room. And honestly, quite a lot of the time they do it pretty well. I feel like Marvel movies replaced those straight to DVD fucking Hollywood comedies. Because they're pretty funny most of the time, but when they miss, they miss, and they're always just like trying so hard to be funny. Like they can't do a serious scene without there having to be like a tension breaker, a line. Shout out to Sliders. Sliders is fucking just so good. I loved that shit so much. Back on, and it was on when you couldn't just watch a whole series of something on demand. You just had to watch it when it was on. Whenever Sliders was on. Sunday night on Sci-Fi, fucking 7 o'clock was a new Sliders episode. And if you missed it, you missed it. And it was fucking so difficult to watch TV during those days. Because you just had to be around at the precision moment. You couldn't be doing something else. if someone else was watching the one TV, you didn't have a TV in your pocket. You could VHS record it, yeah. God, dude, and you'd have this fucking burnt out old fucking VHS that was on was it called long play? Short play and long play for quality control. You could record it in slightly better quality if you record it on the short play, but you'd be stressing that you'd run out of tape. This fucking ratchet old VHS that you've recorded 1,000 years worth of TV on. Yeah. Do you have the demographic data, Brad? How old is this chat? From what I understand, I don't actually have that data, no, because when you sign up for a Twitch account, you don't have to put your age in. So no one really knows. But I think everyone is about the same age as me. You know, most of the people that are in here throughout the week who understand my perspective on life and how I feel about most things. You have anxiety, you've lived through every fucking bullshit thing that's happened. You fucking hate Gen Z, you hate boomers. You're absolutely fucked up. You remember sliders. You lived during an age where technology was fucking basic as shit and now is way too advanced for you. There's one generation. The millennial generation is so fucking different to the other ones. They will never know what it's like to be this hybrid creature. So for the most part, it's like millennials in here, like 30s to early 40s, usually. Because everyone else just gets weeded out. If you're too old, you don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Because you want to talk about Joe Biden. I don't know what old people talk about. But if you're too young, it's fucking awful. It's nothing worse than hanging around with people that are too young. You're just like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what you're trying to... Why are you dancing? You've got too much energy and passion. Get away from me. So we just all get caught, you know, in this stream. Where were you on 9/11? I was in English class. I mean, how many 9/11s have we lived through now? We are the weirdo tech chimeras, yeah. Because we were brought up in a world where there was just no phones. You know, when we were really young, there was no mobile phones. There was, we were still in that era of like, it's like insane to think of now. Like those, you just go outside on your bike. That was the best you could do. You couldn't call people. You had one phone in the house that was a wired phone plugged into a wall. Beep, beep, beep. Hello. Can Wax Stephen come out to play? You know, you'd have to get on your bike and ride 3 blocks. Hello, Mrs. Stephen. Can Wax Stephen come out to play, please? Gamble. Maybe he's already out. Oh, he's already outside. Okay, I'll go and look for him in the park. Ride to the fucking park, looking at people to see if one of them was your friend. Aggroing every bully in the area. Dude, insane, right? So we lived in that world. Then they gave us some phones and shit, and we had the early 2000s fucking CKY era of time, which we watched that TikTok or something where the guy explained why that was it. That was peak, and it was peak. You had a little bit of technology. We had like real basic internet, dial-up shit, real basic internet, Kazaa, MSN Messenger, ICQ. Who remembers ICQ? That was the best period of time. The 3210 and an MSN Messenger. You'd get home, watch Viva La Bam, MTV, but not the MTV that the fucking Gen X people lived on. Our version that was still TV shows that became TV shows. Scuzz and Kerrang on the TV. But we were brought up and like forged in the boomer era of like, and the, you know, the Gen X era of basically no technology. You know, technology was so basic, master systems. And then Then we got PlayStation 1 and we got MSN Messenger. But now technology is so advanced, it's unbelievable. Like, it's absolutely embarrassing how much we take it for granted. What is happening right now, this stream, is insane compared to what we had when I got my first computer. And it's too much. We've advanced through too much into this like information era where everyone has every piece of information at all times at their fucking fingertips. Now, if you're born and you're a child, you're a Gen Zer, and you were given a phone at 3 years old and you're used to having that, then you're good. But for us, it's wrecked our fragile little minds that are just like, can Rex Steven come out to play? And everyone's like, oh, but the world is ending. The house is on fire. Your country is sinking into the sea. The animals are leaving. The president's insane. You have every piece of information. You have everything that's happening in a tiny little fucking Somali village, all the way up to what's happening on a macro level to fucking the entire world. We know what's going on in every single election around the world. It is way too much information, but we are not capable of dealing with it. But we're young enough that we believe in and trust in technology because we were given technology when we were still young, as opposed to like slightly older generations and boomers who just reject it. They're just like, I don't know how it works, don't give a shit, pow, pow, pow. They don't give a fuck. Whereas we actually like it and trust in it and believe in it, but we were built and constructed in a different era where there was none of it. So it's just, I feel like it's just fractured our little minds. It's why absolutely every single person who is a millennial has an anxiety disorder. It's fucking brutal. It feels like there's someone sitting on my chest at all times. Just being crushed at all times. The Hulk's foot is on my chest. When they put the fucking Mjolnir on him. That's me. Because I'm just scared of everything at all times because I'm just not built. I wasn't, you know, I'm not prepared for this much information. Because technology was this like little fun thing and little gift, and it was like fun for a little bit, and now it's become this thing that we're all completely reliant on. And I think it's just fractured my fragile little mind too much. And I'm insane now. And I'll always be this way. And I think we will always be this way because technology just keeps going. We can't help it. I'm into it as well. I like the technology. You know me, dude. I'm on the side of AI. I'm all good. I'm in. I've folded in. It's either full-blown rage against the machine, absolute nuclear war against the corporations, or I'm in. I'm down for just whatever the corporate, install the chip and put the chip in my brain. CIA, put the chip in my brain. It's all good. I'm in unless we're going all out. If we're going all out, and I'm talking, put a fucking grenade in every single fucking person's hand, and they have to kill someone with that grenade who earns more than them. That's it. That's the only rule. Boop, 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 go. Way more than the Purge. Because it has to be a corporate and political takedown. Everything, the structure, everything has to be brought down. So we're living in like worse than Mad Max. This is not hyperbole. I mean it. Get every one of them. But if we're not going to do that, then we have to accept that they've won and we live in that world. So if we just go with it, if you go with the flow of the poison, it's actually easier and better for you. Because, yeah, they're going to pump you full of poison. And, yeah, you're going to be watching the worst fucking TV show you've ever seen in your entire life. And, yeah, every single small business and artist and everyone who's creative and everyone who's interesting is going to be fucking eaten up and destroyed by this entire thing. But I click one button and a robot delivers a McDonald's to me and I'm watching Daredevil Season 5. At the click of one button, rather than it being this thing where I have to kind of be like, well, can I watch Daredevil? It costs me too much money. Bang! Alright, so what's going on with the, can I get some food? Crack! Oh, that fucking hurt. Can I get some fucking food? Ow, what was that? Oh, I've lost a leg. You're just fighting, trying to get a McDonald's and Daredevil Season 5. if we just fucking give in to the dystopia, at least we'll get a thing where you just press a button and it's hell. It's a hellscape. It's a dystopian hellscape, but it would honestly be easier rather than fighting it. Stop fighting. We've lost. You'll never win. Unless we put a grenade in everyone's hand and tell them to kill the rich. Everyone. Every man, woman, and child is given a grenade and they have to kill someone who earns over, I don't know, 100k a year. I'm not even talking millionaires or billionaires and shit. We'll do them in a fucking week. I'm talking about everyone. Reduce it to nothing. And when they're all dead, we can restructure. Because anyone who earns that much money is a sociopath. Subscribe. This is why I can never be trusted with power. And I've said it 1 billion times. Only ever let me have a little bit of money to see me through. Keep chat, and this is on you. Keep my fridge stocked, but do not give me enough money that it translates as any level of power. I don't want any level of influence. I can't have too many viewers. Twitch, no. It's why whenever I hit fucking, 400 viewers, the stream shuts down. It's the only... I have to be clippered. I've got to be the horse, the things they put on the horse to stop him from freaking out. I have to be limited like the cheetah when you can't run at his full speed or his legs will fall off or whatever the fuck that rumor is. Rumor. If you on it, I swear to God, dude, give me a little element of power. If the fucking banks started collapsing, the end of Fight Club, and the world starts fucking going to shit, right? And I don't die within the first 6 months. The thing that exists a decade in to this post-apocalyptic story would be so unrecognizable. I'd be blind because anyone wears glasses, that'd be the end of it. Not that I'm even blind without them. I can actually see pretty well. I'm just at this point lazy. A blind man sat on a throne of human bones. Dog bones. That's what it'd be. A blind man sat on Mid-Journey. Imagine a blind man sat on a throne of bones, and they would be dog bones. A blind man sat on a throne of small bones in a post-apocalyptic landscape, anime style. Because that's what would be left behind. Because I would become this thing. I must be fully kept chained and contained. Because I'm like, it's one or the other. It's one or the other. Give me my full dystopian where I've folded in. Where I've folded in and I just get Daredevil, season 5 and a McDonald's, and all I do is go like this. Blink. And I've blinked and paid it because I've got so many chips in my brain. All of them are playing ads constantly into your mind. Blink. Pay to get rid of the ads. Blink. Blink. It's just playing ads constantly. Get your penis enlargement. Blink. Do you want to live forever? Blink. Immortality plus. Blink. And you're having to pay to get rid of all of them. And then I blink again and a McDonald's has been delivered instantly. Instantly. Blink. Yeah. Blink. Daredevil season 5. I either want that or
All that! Everyone! Dead! Nothing left but a wasteland of my victims.
Dude, that looks sick. Bro. You know? Alright, who wants to play D&D? Hey, Brad, can we stop talking about the real world? It's fucking freaking me out. Yeah, me too. And that's why God invented D&D. Everyone, I've invented a new prayer. Because I don't want to pick a god or a religion or a cult. I just want to thank something. The machine, the overlord. I don't know which god it is. Vishnu, Jesus Christ. I don't know. So I do this. Mind and soul. Yours. And we thank what I'm going to call God for inventing D&D to help us escape in my attempt to become religious. I'm so desperate to become religious. I reckon I can do it if I really try. Now, Green Vox and Jaeger fucked up, didn't they? Because they subscribed before the game begun. And now you will deal with the pain. Jaeger. Simulation preserve us. We escape now from the real world into the world, the nameless world that we haven't named yet, to continue our story.
Town of Badgerbrook, the dawn begins to break. Leary stands upon the hill, their future to remake. A spark inside, a calling deep, the winds are whispering. Leave behind the life you know, and let your journey sing. The world awaits, the fire burns inside. With shadows rising, they cannot hide. The path is long, but the stars will guide. Leary, take the sky, it's time to fly. Rise, Leary, rise, the time has come. Face the dragon, chase the sun. Through the forest, dark and seas untamed, you carve your name in skies aflame. Oh, Leary, rise, the hero's light. Across the land through endless night. With every step, the legends cry. Rise, Leary, rise. In the mists of ancient woods, where shadows weave their lies, Leary faces monsters fierce with courage in their eyes. The road is hard, the nights are cold, but they will never yield. For every scar and battle won becomes their sword and shield. The storms will come, but their heart won't break. Through every trial, through every quake. With magic's roar and the earth's great shake, Leary walks the line for the world's sake. Rise, Leary, rise, the time has come. Face the dragon, chase the sun. Through the forest, dark and seas untamed, you carve your name in skies aflame. Oh, Leary, rise, the hero's light. Across the land through endless night. With every step, the legends cry. Rise, Leary, rise. Tops to oceans wide, with wings of hope they soar and glide. The stars will watch, the moons will see, Leary's path to victory. Rise, Leary, rise, the time has come. Face the dragon, chase the sun. Through the forest, dark and seas untamed, you carve your name in skies aflame. Oh, Leary, rise, the hero's light. Across the land through endless night. With every step, the legends cry. Oh, Leary, rise, the hero's light. Across the land through endless night. With every step, the legends cry. Rise, Leary, rise. In the mists of ancient woods, let the echoes ring. Through the world where the journey cause the flames to rise. Now's the time, Leary rise.
That's right. It is time to continue this particular game of Unveiling. Now, last time, Leary was chased through the streets. This will be the third session. In the first session, Leary came to Badgerbrook with a mission. There is a group in Badgerbrook that are called. I can't remember what they're called. They're called. It's the Resistance. They have a name. In the and they wanted to hire Leary. Oh, that's why, because I've opened the wrong thing. God damn it. God damn it. You know what I should do? Probably save this in a folder of its own. The town of Badgerbrook. The Silent Miners. A quiet resistance group made up of quarry workers and miners who want to overthrow Vorshek, the leader in this town. Sent out a call, a mercenaries call, with a letter that Leary took. And then we began the first session, and as Leary arrived in town, Leary kind of got caught in the spellwind and transported from the docks up to the guards gate at the front of the town, and then they had to make their way through the town. When they eventually made their way through the town, they were trying to find out what the letter meant. In the hills where stone meets salt, find the old tunnel where miners halt. The path to freedom starts in dust. Seek the hammer that's turned to rust. Is the the letter that you were given to discover and to find the resistance group. However, you were overheard by the town guard, who are all corrupt. One of the guardsmen, who is called Drogath, I think. Why can I remember Drogath? Drogath questioned you on this, and then eventually decided to put you under arrest. You decided, as you know, you are all essentially playing Leary, to escape, and in doing so, you were chased through the streets. You were chased sort of through the streets, just basically an abysmal set of dice rolls. Before eventually falling into a hole in the ground, having to continue to escape through the tunnels under Badgerbrook and the sewer system under Badgerbrook. You got into a fight with a grey ooze, which was surprisingly rough, because it kind of cornered you. And then you escaped by stepping out of the tunnel system, finding yourself, in a sort of random area of town, before immediately and suddenly teleporting on a dice roll, which is what happened at the end of the last session. So let's figure out where you teleported to. I'm going to create a table. Right now. Create a generic table that has 6 locations around town. that you can teleport to. Make 3 of them neutral locations. Make 3 of them dangerous locations. Let's see. Let's see what it comes up with. 6 possible locations around town. Back to the town square. The apothecary shop. The quarry. The sewers. The rooftop of the tavern. The abandoned warehouse. The quarry. Oh, you think this is excellent news? Are you sure about that? Because this is one of the dangerous options. Neutral was town square, apothecary, and rooftop tavern. I think we can blame Plumrug. Let's see what's waiting for you there, shall we? You know what? I'm gonna let you pick what is waiting for you. Thank you, Goblin Spore. Let's see. As you arrive at the quarry, you know what? Here we go. Check this out. Uh-oh. Shadow once. Now remember, every time Twitch gives one, every time Twitch gifts a sub today, Leary gets +1 XP. Don't let me forget. Because for every 5 gift subs at the moment, Twitch is providing an extra 1. Christ. Chen. Shadow. 3 XP added. $203 XP you're at. Of 300. You're at 4 HP after this teleportation. I want you to be aware of that. Amity, Tom, thank you very much. Chen, Shadow, you get yourselves a wheel spin, which we'll do right now, before I forget. As you arrive. Oh, an instant long rest is a perfect one. That's real useful. That's really good. Because you recover your HP, you're back at full HP, but you also get your second wind back that you'd used. That was a good timing for that, because I was feeling a little nervous for you all. Okay. Humagi and Twitch, you get another XP for 204 XP. Thank you very much. Let's start rolling some dice to determine what happens as you arrive and teleport into this area. Exclamation point, roll d20. And we can take the first roll because you haven't rolled any this morning. To determine what happens to you as you arrive. A 20. Okay. Teleporting away from the town and actually ending up slightly outside of town. Leary arrives at one of the old quarries. There's a crash of thunder that echoes off of the jagged stone walls, momentarily drowning out the howling wind. Here in this quarry, the thunderstorm is amplified by the echoing and the fact that you're down in the pit of this quarry looking up at the multiple levels of this ancient and abandoned place. Sheets of rain pouring down in torrents, turning the rocky ground about you into slick, treacherous mess. Jagged cliffs rising ominously up around you. Dark silhouettes barely visible through the storm with your dark vision. Lightning cracking, casting these eerie, fleeting shadows across this terrain, revealing these kind of loose rubble piles, yawning mouths of old mine shafts. The wind continuing to howl through this quarry, carrying the distant creaks of old equipment and the faint rustle of something unseen moving through the darkness. As Leary lands in this quarry, The heavy rain-soaked air suddenly carries a strange and acrid scent, almost sulphurous. At first it's sort of barely noticeable. But then, with a gust of wind, a thick pale vapour begins creeping towards Lyri with the storm's gusts. Begins to sting Lyri's eyes and throat. Each breath becomes harder, the air thickening with a foul odour, lightning flashing again, illuminating a fog around Lyri like a haze that is clinging to the quarry floor like a toxic blanket. This place is covered in poisonous fumes. There's several pockets of gas leaks from some of the old caves here, presumably why this place is now abandoned. It is time to make a Constitution saving throw. Now, Lyri has a +3 to this. Check. We take the second roll, so we clear out the old ones. What did you get? A fucking 2? Uh-oh. A 2. Your con save is a 5 in total. Fail. Lyri starts choking. Taking. I'm going to let you pick, chat. Would you rather take poison damage, you don't know how much, or poisoned condition? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. I'm gonna let you pick. I'll let you pick. And then I'm going to tell you what's going on. Motherfucker. And then I'm going to tell you what's going on. Motherfucker. Take the poison damage. Okay, it's going to be 1d6. And you get a wheel spin. I was going to do this first, just in case you got a thing that heals you. 6 full damage. Choking. Eyes stinging. Barely able to focus. Lyri, caught in this poison, takes 6 poison damage. Now, we spin the wheel. An instant random potion. Let's hope it's a healing potion. $1D100, 42. A potion of greater healing. You motherfucker. Which one's greater healing? 44 plus 4? What the fuck? You are so lucky. 44 plus 4. You heal to max. Damn. You guys are so lucky. However, Lyri stumbling through the quarry, the poison taking hold, the spell wind blows through the area, healing Lyri for a moment, giving Lyri a moment to look about and recognize. Moving towards Lyri. One crawling out from underneath a nearby minecart. Another wriggling along from the upper level. 2 snakes. Guys, it's time to roll initiative. Lyri has a +2, so start rolling. Two poisonous snakes begin making their way towards you. 21 and a 23 on their initiatives. Alright, we take the second roll. Keep going. And this is at 6, Shadow? Is that right? A 20. What is your initiative? +2. Damn. Who rolled that? Q Margie, the world saver. Wow. 22. So, the first snake to go is the one right next to you. Unfortunately, it hisses and rushes out from underneath the minecart there. I'm going to roll this first. Beth, providing a potential new scroll. Now, what is the curse you have? The scroll is blurry. Is it every scroll or just this one? Let's base it on how powerful the upcoming scroll is. Okay, you get 1 extra XP from Twitch. Debiro, thank you. Beth, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Fletch Kane, thank you for the resub earlier on as well. Umagi, thank you for the subs and the 20. Okay, so scroll generator from it's random, completely random generate. The enhance ability spell. You touch a creature and bestow upon it a magical enhancement. Choose one of the following effects. The target gains the effect until the spell ends. Bears endurance, the target has advantage on con checks, and it also gains 2d6 temporary hit points, which are lost when the spell ends. Bull's strength, the target has advantage on strength checks, and his or her carrying capacity doubles. Cat's grace, the target has advantage on dex checks. It also doesn't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if it isn't incapacitated. Eagle's splendor, you have advantage on charisma checks. Fox's cunning, you have advantage on intelligence checks. Owl's wisdom, advantage on wisdom checks. A second level transmutation scroll. So you have a blurry Crown of Madness scroll. So every time you cast Crown of Madness, you roll a 1d2. If you roll a 1, you don't cast it. Which is basically that when you cast this on, it has to be a humanoid, so a human, not a thing like a snake or a dragon or something. The charm target must use its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. Is the current spell you have, but it's blurry to look at. You can switch it out now. You can only have one spell scroll slot at a time. So you can switch it for enhance ability. Switch scroll. Take enhance ability. Keep blurry Crown of Madness. The choice is yours. A new scroll provided by Beth appears in your pocket. What was the rules on scrolls? What was the rule I wrote down? You can cast it like a cantrip, or you have spell slots. Probably spell slots make sense. So how do we want to do scrolls? Rules of scrolls. Rules of scrolls. You can cast it 1+ level times per long rest. That seems fair. Because if you get Fireball, that's the new rule. You cast it 1+ level times per long rest, and that goes for other idiots as well. Take enhance ability is a 100% from the chat here. So the scroll slot transforms into enhance ability. Okay. So, on your action, you can cast the scroll. Spell scroll was 1, so I must have actually given it an amount. So we're going to go, it's actually 2. 2 casts of the spell scroll available to you. Alright. Great. Let's see. Now it is the snake's turn. We're still in combat. Thank you so much for the subs. I appreciate it. I lost 100 subs this morning. I watched it happen. It was horrible. At some point, I guess a month ago, someone dropped a lot of subs, and because it's a Sunday, I guess. And I woke up this morning and was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna check my sub count just so that I know. It gives me an anxiety attack to check every time I look at it, because you can hide it. You can hide your sub count. Like some people have it on their stream and shit, and I'm like, every time I check it, I have a panic attack. And I clicked it and was like, okay, that's not too bad. And it went boop and changed right in front of my eyes. Almost killed me. It dropped a lot. It was like 100 or so. This poisonous snake rushes for Lyri, opening its little fangs, its jaw, and revealing 2 little fangs. It lashes out in an attempt to bite Lyri. The bite coming in at 22 is going to hit, isn't it? Let's be honest. Lyri's AC, her armor class, their armor, they. Their she, they. Armor class is 15. This is going to hit on a 22. Oof. 1 piercing damage. However, that is not all. It does other shit. It's poisonous. A DC 10 Constitution saving throw. That's you. Start rolling. You have +3 to this roll. A DC 10 con saving throw. This is so weird how they've written this. You're basically going to take an extra bit of damage otherwise. So not that 13. Keep rolling. We'll take the second roll to try and purge out the previous shitty rolls. What's it going to be? Keep rolling. You take the second roll. You'll know because it says at BradWOTO the winning roll is blah blah blah. There it is, a 3 from Shadow, so that's a fail. Which means you take an additional 2d4 poison damage from this. 7, that is real bad. Lyri is now on 3 HP. This thing rushes forward. Lyri barely sort of trying to figure out where they are, what's going on. There's the fog of this poison choking them, when suddenly a snake launches itself out. The snake just as startled as Lyri at being suddenly teleported into this place. These fangs dig deep into Lyri's calf, the poison taking hold. Lyri screaming out, kicking at the snake and jumping backwards. It is now Lyri's turn. So let's have a look at what Lyri can do on their turn. You are at 3 HP. You have the ability to move. You can disengage from the snake, or you can attempt to attack the snake. You are, for some reason it says you're on 11 HP but you're not. I don't know why. We can't see that being displayed. Don't care, I'm switching to Foundry. The Lyri is currently on, oh I know why. There we go. So what you can do from this position. What does Lyri do? You could fire an arrow at the snake, but you'd have disadvantage. This is the problem with being an archer, guys. You chose an archer, and I think later on is going to be very good, but at the moment at level 1 it can be a bit rough when everything just rushes you. You could fire an arrow at the snake. You have disadvantage on the shot because you're at close range. You don't have a melee weapon, right? No. Okay. So you could attempt an unarmed strike. which I think will only deal 1 damage because it just deals your strength modifier. Or maybe is it 1 plus your strength modifier or just your strength? You could use the scroll. Enhance ability. Now there's different options on that you can do. Again, enhance ability will give you a few different options. And we'll go over them again so you know what they are. I know a lot of you know all of this stuff, but there are potentially people here who don't know what D&D is and don't know every single spell. You can give yourself... Now this will consume your action, so you won't be doing any damage, but you'll give yourself advantage on con checks and 2d6 additional hit points. You can give yourself advantage on strength checks and double your carrying capacity. Advantage on dex checks and don't take fall damage, and then advantage on the mind checks, which in this situation aren't going to help you a huge amount. So you can cast that scroll, one use of casting that scroll. You can disengage from the snake and run. And you can move immediately, which would allow you to move away from the snake. However, the snake will potentially get an attack, a free attack. If you're moving out of the area of effect of the snake, it gets a free attack on you if it still has a reaction, which it does. It doesn't have to do that, but it probably will. If you move away from it without taking what we call the disengage action and run. Now, creative options from the chat room. Oh, you could use second wind. That's right, you refreshed it. Second wind is a heal. You have a bonus action heal, which would free up your action still as well. You could take the shove action, yeah. Shove is use an attack action to shove a creature and knock it prone or push it 5 feet away from you. That's gonna consume your action to do. I'm just gonna put this as well. Second wind is a heal bonus action. You have an action and a bonus action. Set the poison smoke on fire Larian style. Throw the snake at the other snake. Use the snake to whip the other snake. Pocket sand. And those are the options. Those are your options right here. So you can vote in the chat room. Fire an arrow, unarmed strike, use a scroll, disengage / run, move immediately, shove the snake away, use the second wind heal, set the poison smoke on fire Larian style, throw the snake at the other snake, pocket sand. Those are the options. Now, Anonymous, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Twitch provided another XP to Lyri there, so that's 206 XP. I've done that off screen for you. You're going to use the second wind to heal. Okay, let's do it. So your bonus action is consumed. You use the only... you have to get a... I think you have to have a short rest for second wind. You use the second wind, and second wind... You have a limited well of stamina that you can draw on to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. And that's on a short rest, you get that back. The fighter level is 1, so you get 1d10 plus 1. 1d10 plus 1. 7 HP back. Up to 10 out of 11 HP. Lyri does the thing from the Matrix where Neo goes like this. And just steels themselves against incoming, further incoming damage. Now you can still do your action. So you've used this one. Any other options from the chat? Is there any other good options here? Is there a possibility to, with a shield, to hunker down? Not really. You can take a dodge action, which allows you to... Any attack roll against you has disadvantage, but in this situation, you're just eventually going to get whittled down. You know. Let's go with this then. Fire an arrow. Unarmed strike. Use a scroll. Disengage and run. Move immediately. Shove the snake away. Set the poison smoke on fire, Larian style. Throw the snake at the other snake. Are the options. Which would you like to do? Looks like it's going to be an attempt to throw the snake at the other snake. This is going to be pretty hard to do. Technically, there is no way for you to do this, but I'm always willing to let you try anything. I'm going to say this is a grapple attack. Grappling is a special melee attack. Your target must be no more than one size larger than you. To make a grapple attack, you need to make an athletics check versus their athletics or dexterity check. So you guys need to start rolling dice. You're rolling an athletics check, which you have a +3 to. We take the second roll from the chat. And now the snake is going to roll an acrobatics check. There it is. It has happened. Shadow has decided he would like to spin the wheel. Right here and now. It will be given gold. Which was another d20, right? So you get a 15 +3, 18. All right. 18 from Lyri. But first, roll me another d20. That's how much gold you get. The snake is going to make a dexterity check while you're rolling that. A 7. Lyri easily grabs this snake as it... She whips it up in one hand. It starts kind of doing that thing that snakes do where they're like falling backwards but also kind of holding still in the air. It starts whipping about. Lyri sights the other snake, brings her arm back as if to launch this thing. I'm going to give you the option to potentially do this again. There is no way that this is anything more than another athletics check. But let's see what you roll on the gold check. Keep rolling. This is how much gold you get from this wheel spin. You currently have 17 gold in your pocket. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. 18. Nice roll. So what is 17 plus 18? So that would be 35. Am I right? 35 gold. Gold appearing. I'm just going to let this appear in Lyri's pocket. Lyri's purse weighs down a little more without even realizing it as they attempt to fling a snake towards the other one. Now there are 2 levels to this fling. Start rolling again. This is another athletics check. You have a +3 to this. You have to roll above a 5 or else the throw fails entirely and the snake is going to coil itself about your arm. And you have to roll above a 13 to be able to strike the other snake. Keep rolling, not that 5. Is that another 5? Well, you beat the 5, but you didn't beat the 13. So that's an 8 in total. This snake flies through the air. Spinning through the air, this thing launches at the wall. It doesn't reach the next level up. It just slaps against this wall. I'm going to roll a d2 to determine how much damage is done to it. It has 2 HP. Wow, 1. It survives this. Boom. Hits the wall, slips down it. A few little bits of rock and debris crumble to the ground. The snake falling on its back, flipping over, trying to right itself as Lyri flings this thing away. Presumably you'd like to move, and I'm guessing as far back as you possibly can. You can just type yes or no, but I'm guessing that's what you want to do. This looks like rubble and shit like that, so the furthest away from this snake I'd say you can get is probably there. Would you agree? Without having to climb up. I'm going to say you make it all the way over there, away from the poisonous snake, as far back as you can get, and that will be the end of Lyri's turn. Okay, poisonous snake number, this one, is going to use, how fast can it move? 30 feet of movement on the snake. But I hate this new thing where it opens up this every time. 5 feet to just fall off this edge, and then 25 feet's only going to get it to here. Does it have a ranged attack? Probably not, huh? I have to use its action to bonus to dash. It's now here, but that is its entire action. It is now this snake's turn, and you'll be pleased to know it can definitely make it all the way back over to you and also attack. And this is why as soon as you guys were voting for throw the snake, I was like, no, don't do it. I love it when you guys get creative and come up with fun ways to do the thing, but the mechanic monkey in the back of my head, I try and reward creative things as much as I can, which is why I gave you the extra possibility of actually doing that and throwing. You could have killed them both, but unfortunately you didn't roll high enough. All of a sudden, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. That is an extra 2 XP that we are owed. You're at 208 XP for every additional gift sub from Twitch. At the moment, there's some bullshit. Where is it? This thing. Bonus gift subs. Only 48 hours left. For every 5 gift subs, Twitch adds an extra one. And every time Twitch adds an extra one, you get 1 XP. That's how we're doing that today. Thank you very much, Sutton, the omnipresent Twitch chatter. Now, this snake is right next to you. It is going to attempt to bite Lyri. Oh, 23. Dude, I tell you what, I have been so good at rolling this year, both in Cura and in this. And I'd like to apologize. The Chaos Gods smile upon me this year. In the real world, I pay for these dice rolls. I've been incredibly unwell. I continue to be very unwell. My life has been borderline. Terrible. We'll just say terrible. The 3 words that went through my head I realized I couldn't say. But in exchange, because there must always be equal exchange, I roll really well in Roll20 all the time. So, 1 piercing damage, and I need, I believe it's a Constitution saving throw. Yep. From you in the chat room. Exclamation point, roll d20, and you have a +3 to this con check. Looks like it's adding 2 today. Really? It did just then, and I don't know why. But you know what? Here's an extra XP on Twitch. 209. A 15 take. We take the second roll. Darky dark. I'm very upset to tell you. I've stolen Wax Power. I'm Kakashi of the Sharingan. I'm the copy ninja. I've sort of stolen Wax Power, but it comes at a terrible price in real life. A Constitution saving throw, please. Potentially taking more damage here. You've got to beat a 10. You have a +3 to this roll. Kill these snakes. 2 HP snakes. As they swarm Leary. A 2. Guys, you've got to roll better than this. We can't be doing this every week. That is a fail. You take an additional 5 HP damage as the snake that had just been flung against the wall moves swiftly across the bottom of this quarry. Leary sighting up the first snake that's dropped off the thing, doesn't see the second as it leaps at Leary. Leary bringing up an arm instinctively, the snake biting into their forearm, injecting additional poison, slicing the arm, Leary flinging the snake to the ground. 5 poison damage, 1 piercing damage. It is now Leary's turn. But first, it's time for a wheel spin from Jaeger, as well as an additional bit of XP. You're at 210. Oh, you get something good. 210, you get a minor boon. So this is something good. Not a Deus Ex Machina like you suddenly become God, but something good happens. What good thing happens? Jaeger has provided in his madness. The true God of Chaos bestows upon you a good boon. What would you like to happen? What is a good thing that could happen here? Rocks collapse on the snakes. Snakes get scared and run away. Loose rock falls. Lightning strikes the snakes. A hawk appears and takes the snakes. Find a melee weapon. It's also a tool that will help you later. Ramu comes. No, that's too big. Moose, a mongoose suddenly appear. A moose suddenly appears. Find a vial of anti-venom in the dirt. Climb the wall. Okay. Let's go with those 8. I'm so used to doing 8 options because I can generally only fit 8 in, not on the normal poll screen. We can actually do a few more. I've got to remember that every time. So, what good thing would you like to happen here? On behalf of Jaeger, Jaeger has provided Rocks collapsing on the snakes. The snakes get scared and run away. Lightning strikes the snakes. A hawk appears and takes the snakes. You find a melee weapon. A mongoose suddenly appears. You find a vial of anti-venom in the dirt. Or you climb the wall. Snakes can't climb. Then why are they always in trees, Centillion? Why is there always pictures of snakes in trees? They're so scary. I'm not like phobia afraid of snakes like I am with spiders, but my god. Oh, snakes. Snakes are pure evil, man. They're borderline that sort of wasp scorpion thing where it's like there's no way that this was born. This thing does not exist on this planet for any other reason than it was born of evil. Straight up. The physical incarnation of evil is wasps, scorpions, and possibly snakes. Find a melee weapon. Okay, let's bring up a list of all melee weapons. D&D melee weapons list. Okay. Those are ranged weapons. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Let's roll a d28 and see what you get. Actually, let's not do that. Let's roll to determine whether you roll on the simple or the martial weapons table, which is a 1d2. A 1 being a simple weapon, 2 being martial weapons. 2, so it'll be a martial weapon. Maybe that's a 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. God damn it, I clicked the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's close enough to a 20. If you roll a 19 or a 20, we'll do something else. Start rolling, chat. I want you to pick what it's going to be. Here is a list of the melee weapons that you're rolling from. Battle axe, flail, glaive, great axe, great sword, halberd, lance, longsword, maul, morningstar, pike, rapier, scimitar, short sword, trident, warpick, warhammer, and whip. You are a fighter, so you can use all of them with proficiency. Any weapon that Lyri finds, they can use. They're an ex-soldier, mercenary. Let's keep rolling. You take the second roll, not that 12. 12 would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a rapier. It's a 20. So you get the rapier. That's what you get. We're not taking Digital Dan's winning roll. We're taking the 12 from the serpent. Fuck you. That's what we're doing. On the ground. Next to Lyri. There's all sorts of scattered items that have been abandoned and left behind. But Lyri finds a rapier. A rapier is the fencing sword, basically. A long, thin blade. And that is a D8 plus Dex weapon. It's a finesse weapon. Which means you can use either strength or dexterity, but you want to use dexterity for this, which is good for you. If you'd picked up something like a great axe while you could still have used it, the bonus wouldn't have been quite as high because you'd been using strength rather than dex. So Lyri can use their dexterity for this weapon. It's a pretty good weapon for Lyri, to be honest. A D8 plus 2 piercing damage as Lyri, stumbling backwards after being bitten from this, sees the rapier on the ground, flicks that thing up, flies through the air. Let's have Midjourney create an image of how this thing looks. I'm just going to write in the word rapier, D&D weapon, see what comes up. A finesse weapon works well for you, yeah. Okay. It is Lyri's turn. One of these snakes is on 1 HP. The other one, 2 HP. You're in a precarious position. Here. It does not like rapiers. Well, here is an idea of what the weapon looks like. It's one of these looking things. If that means anything to you. This is kind of how the weapon is. That is being held by Lyri now. Chen, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Going straight into the wheel spin. You also get an extra XP, 211 XP. The additional Twitch sub in there. Lyri's turn. Now, what does Lyri do? I wish I had that list again. Attack melee. So that's a rapier attack. But you'll only get to attack one of them. Attack bow. That's disadvantage to use the bow. Now, you have bonuses to any archery that you do because you chose archery as your thing. So, generally speaking, if you have the option to, you probably want to be using ranged weapons with Lyri rather than melee, but obviously certain situations are going to mean that you can and can't do that. You can disengage and run away. This would allow you to disengage from the 2 creatures in front of you without them being able to make that free attack on you. And then you could use your movement to run around them and run away from them, something like that. You could use the scroll, which is enhance ability. Again, I'm just going to bring up enhance ability in another window. So we can just click on it like this. Again, enhance ability will allow you to... Damn. Hugh Margie, thank you very much. Do something like Bear's Endurance and get 2d6 temporary HP. It'll also give you advantage on your con checks for when the snakes bite you. You can move without disengaging. The snakes will get a free attack on you, but you'll disengage will cost you an action. Shield is not a move. You don't have a shield, and there really isn't a move to just block. You can dodge, which means they have disadvantage on their attacks against you. But at this point, dodging is kind of... They're never going to leave you. So dodging is not... I would not advise it. You can attempt to pick one up and bludgeon the other with it. But again, that's multiple checks. Like, it'll be the same set of checks as you did last time, where you have to grapple one of them and then also successfully hit the other one with it. Failing to do so could result in disaster. But doing it successfully will Potentially kill them both. Use shield to raise AC. Yeah, again, you don't have a shield. If you had a shield, you would already potentially have it equipped. And that's how you raise your AC, so it's kind of passive anyway. It's not an active thing. Oh, you do have one. Oh, which means your AC is actually 13. Thank you for reminding me. You were getting that anyway. So actually I've turned it off and now your AC is 13. You can raise your AC to... Okay. Equip shield. That's what you meant. I thought you meant as like a move. Okay, go with those then. Attack melee rapier, and it will attack one snake. Attack with the bow, disadvantage, but you'll potentially have a higher chance to hit and do damage. Disengage and run away from the snakes. That's not flee from the fight, that's just get away from them. You could use the scroll to enhance ability, get more HP and bonuses to things like con checks. You can move without disengaging and still get your action. You could use the dodge thing to just avoid potentially being hit, but for how long can you hold that? You can attempt to pick up one snake and bludgeon the other snake with it. You can equip your shield. How do you equip shields in this? Does it cost an action? D&D. It is an action to equip and unequip your shield, which we're going to play that rule. It's a kind of a boring rule, but yeah, it's object interact. But because you're a bow and arrow type, I think it actually makes a lot of sense. Do you have a spin? You do have a spin. Let's do that now. And then you're going to attack with melee. Ooh, a potential new scroll. Let's see. Random scroll generator. Oh my fucking god. I am not kidding you when I tell you it came up with power word kill. I fucking hate D&D, dude. Brad, what does power word kill do? It's one of the most powerful spells in the game. It's a 9th level enchantment. You utter a word of power that can compel one creature you see within range to die instantly. If the creature you choose has 100 hit points or fewer, it dies. Otherwise, the spell has no effect. There is no point in ever using this scroll again. That we need to adjust scrolls, dude. The scroll needs to have an amount of uses, doesn't it, before it burns up. Or we make scrolls one use. I didn't think this through. No changing the rules. You're not allowed to change the rules. You can't move the goalpost. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm the DM. How do we roll this? I mean, you're obviously taking power word kill, right? Now, let me think of the rule first. It needs to be that you get an amount of uses based on the level minus 10 minus the level. It's 10 minus the level, isn't it? So if it's a 9th level, you get it once. If it's a 1st level, you get it 9 times. That seems fair. So rule of scrolls is now casting time. -10 minus the level. The scroll level. The spell level. Limited casts of 10 minus the spell level. Because that way, the scrolls don't just become... Because otherwise, scrolls will become completely nullified because you will never need to take another scroll when you roll one or find one. Right? So, that means with enhance ability, you get 8 casts of this. With power word kill, you get 1. You can do it whenever you want. So you get 10 minus the level. This is a 9th level spell. So you get 1 cast of it. Whereas enhance ability is a 2nd level spell. So you'd get 8. I think that's a better way to do it so that we don't completely just ruin the point of when we created the scroll wall in the game. So the choice now is up to you. I just want to quickly print screen this for myself. Oh, you know what? I'm going to copy paste it. So that, because this is so annoying to have to write out every time, isn't it? Let me just do that. Okay, switch scroll. Keep enhance ability. 8 uses left. Take power word kill. 1 use left. Again, this will insta-kill pretty much anything at this level. It's very unlikely. Like, you just have to... So this is a spell where you just literally go like this. Die. And someone dies. Now, if you happen to be... If you do it and they have more than 100 hit points, then they won't die immediately. It's a 50 kill sniper rifle. So the choice is yours. This is a big deal. Because this... It could be that you hold on to this power word kill for months of this campaign. It could be that you are more practical and you think that the multiple uses of enhance ability would be more useful for you. The choice is yours. Use it on the BBEG. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. It's a great one to come up. Power word kill coming up is insane. Absolutely insane. I can't believe it. And then immediately I did the... All DMs know what happened in my brain when I went, uh-oh, I didn't account for power word kill and wish and shit. I mean, I'm sure a part of my brain did. But, you know, this is the thing with a procedurally generated game. Time for more mini bosses. I mean, if you spin that wheel and you get a boss battle and you just use power word kill on it, you'll just potentially get an absolute shit ton of fucking XP. You can power game a little bit. Power word kill is being claimed. Damn. Power word kill is in your pocket. Lyri, switching out the scroll slot for power word kill. And this you have 1 use of. 1 use of power word kill. Bew Bew, my future wife, coming in. Bew Bew's probably like 73 and like, why does he keep saying that? Thank you so much for the gift subs. Which added an extra one, so you get an extra XP there, 212 XP. If you use it on the 1 HP snake, I mean, I'm not going to say it would be legendary, but I would lose my mind. I'd probably give you something for it, because inspiration is useless in this. I'd give you something for it, but I don't know what, and it definitely wouldn't be worth it. But okay, power word kill in the pocket, because I got a one hand in my pocket and the other one is casting power word kill. So what were we doing? You were going to melee attack one of these snakes. Which one would you like to attack? Which snake? Attack which snake? Full HP snake? Injured snake. Now, if you hit, you're probably going to... I think it's impossible for you to not kill it. Regardless, because you're always going to do one plus another die anyway. So you're definitely going to kill whichever one it is if you hit it. But it's up to you to pick one. It's pretty much irrelevant at this point, but, you know. It's your game, not mine. So I want you to have as much agency as I can possibly provide, while also making it fair and fun for all of us to enjoy. And who doesn't love voting? And who doesn't love voting? Braid, I've never voted in my life. The government are liars. The government are liars. I ain't never vote. I mean, in the Twitch chat, I'd never vote for anyone in my life, Braid. All right. Full HP snakes getting slapped. Okay, this is it. The attack roll comes in for Lyri. Lyri with the rapier has a +4 to this attack, so you'll see the longbow has a +6, and that's because your fighting style is archery. +4 to the attack roll with the rapier. It is up to you to roll this. Go! ! Roll D20 in the chat, and you get a +4 to this roll. Now, if I were rolling it, you would have got a natural 20, and also, even if you were rolling at disadvantage, you would have got a natural 20. I'm telling you, the gods of Roll20 love me this year. However, I'm not rolling it. You are. Means I actually need to roll it again, because we need a fail roll. It's unreal, dude. If you've been watching Cura, it's so horrible, because I'm like, please just defeat them so that you can just move on. And then I'm like, I've rolled a natural 20, your character is dead. An 18 +4 is a 24. You definitely hit this snake. You're going to deal 6 piercing damage to this one, the full HP snake here, as Lyri kicks that rapier up into one hand. This light sort of, and old, I think this thing has been sat here for a while. Kind of rusted, a little busted up, this rapier. It's not sharpened, it's not in good nick, but it is still, you know, definitely enough to, there's just a little slice, the rapier moving through the raindrops as the snake's head does that thing where it parts after a second. The head falling to the ground, the snake's body flipping about. One of the snakes defeated by Lyri. Now Lyri has an option here to move or to stay where she is. I don't think you have any other bonus actions. So move or stay. You can move, the snake will potentially get a free attack on you, but you've still got your movement. Or you can stay and it'll hand over the thing to the snake's turn. It's a bit, either way, you're probably going to get attacked. Either way, you're probably going to get attacked, but there are some other options because you can still move. Stay there is the plan. All right. Let's see. You killed a snake. It is now the snake's turn. Snake's going to try and attack you. Your AC is currently 13. It's going to hit you. It's going to deal 1 piercing damage. You have 3 HP left. You need to make a Constitution saving throw and beat a 10, or take further damage. You have a +3 to it. Let's roll well, chat. Come on, don't fuck it up this time. Why is our armor class 13 now? Someone reminded me that we don't have the shield equipped. Because, is that a drone? Am I about to blow up? Guys, if I'm about to be exploded, I'm actually quite happy about it. Because that's a pretty quick way for me to go out. And I'll take it at this point. The slow death that my life has been. One of those big military looking drones just flew over my apartment. A 20! Damn! 23 in total. You don't take any additional damage. It's now Lyri's turn. Would you like to use power word kill? Are we attacking with the rapier? Is that the plan here? Just type yes in the chat. I don't think there's any point in putting, unless you're using power word kill. You want to use the scroll? You could use the scroll. Alright, roll your attack roll, chat. You have a +4 exclamation point D20 in the chat. And let me know what you get. Another 20? Are you fucking kidding me? You just did 14 damage to this snake. Cutting one snake's head off. The snake launches itself up at Lyri. The snake bites into like a part of Lyri's armor, one of the teeth, just making through a tiny little bit of damage, 1 piercing damage worth of tooth, before Lyri spins around. The snake's body falls to the ground in 2 pieces. Breathing heavily. A triple backflip I'm going to let you have right now. Out of the poison and up onto the upper level of this quarry. Unbelievable work right at the end there. An unbelievable combat. Another close one. Real close. Incredible work with the double nat 20s at the end. Okay. Let's have a look at some XP. For these snakes. 25 XP each, so you get an extra 50 XP there. So you're at 262 after today. Out of 300, you level up to level 2 at 300. Very close. Twitch is at 14 currently. Oh, did I miss 2 XP? So you're at 64. Damn, did I get 14 subs out of Twitch today? It's so funny because they don't lose anything, right? They just click a button. It's just a number on a screen for them. Time to farm some rats, baby. Okay. So. Lyri finds themselves in this rain-soaked quarry. I don't think Lyri has any idea where they are. So let's make a survival check to see if you can figure out, get your bearings. +2 to your survival check. Exclamation point. Roll D20. Another wheel spin, they screamed from the chat room. Okay, while you do that survival check, a wheel spin. Another XP from Twitch. 265. For all those bonus quad vantage on this check. This survival check. Keep rolling. We take 4. So there's a 12. Keep rolling until we see 4 numbers. Another 12.
Keep rolling. You know what time it is. Keep on rolling, baby.
Damn, no. Thank you very much. Theory, thank you for the subs, by the way. Hold on. All right. What was the result? What was the result? Thank you, Shadow. You want another XP, don't you? siphoning off XP from me, trying to get that up to 300.
I know what you're doing.
The result was a 19. Okay, a 19 plus 2, 21. Leary, looking around in this quarry, takes a look about, looks for the, looks for any clues that suggest where they might be. There are some quarries that several times have been mentioned to Leary in the town of Badgerbrook. Some of them salt quarries and some of them are quartz quarries. The quarry that you are in, the quarry that you're in is a very old and very abandoned quartz and salt quarry. It is. It looks like a little of both. A little of both. I think on a where salt meets rock. Yes, I'm gonna say because you rolled so high. There he pulls out, maybe steps underneath a kind of an old wooden awning, a few pieces of old discarded mining equipment around, and pulls out that letter and sees in the hills where stone meets salt. Taking another glance about, find the old tunnel where miners halt. You really can only see one tunnel entrance. There is an exit from the quarry. There are two exits. There's one that leads out from one of the lower areas, and then obviously you could just climb out of the quarry, being another exit essentially. But there is a tunnel that seems to lead deeper into the quarry. Find the old tunnel where miners halt. The path to freedom starts in dust. Seek the hammer that's turned to rust. Maneuvering around and looking down into that lower section, essentially where those two dead snakes are that you've just defeated, you can see an old tunnel entrance with that smog and fog slowly pushing out from that entranceway. Give me a perception check, please, chat. An exclamation point, roll d20. Your perception is a +2, and I'm going to spin the wheel for you as well while you do that. You take the second roll this time. You get an item. You get an item. Let me see where I got that. This one looks good. No, maybe not. What's the winning roll? An 11. An 11 plus 2. You see. Above the entrance to that mine, the symbol of a sort of orange hammer. Now, roll me another d20, please, chat, for the item that you get. roll a d3 for the table that this is going to be on. 2. An 11. Is that correct? You find a hip flask full of cheap whiskey. Sitting on one of the tables here is a relatively nice looking hip flask, still in good shape. Larry picks it up, pops the cap, takes a sniff. Cheap whiskey. Maybe there's some use for this later on down the line. Let's make an item list. Treasure. Loot. A hip flask half filled with cheap whiskey. Is what you find on that loot roll there. Thank you, Dirky Dirk, Feemore, and Twitch. Did I add the extra one for Twitch? Don't know. Okay. We ask, what does Lyri do now? Standing in this, you get the sense that it isn't magical. You're standing in the quarry, rain coming down. Access to the area that it feels like you might have found the quarry that you were looking for to be able to meet with the resistance, but there does appear to be this poison kind of leaking out from the entranceway, this tunnel that you need to gain access to. Injured, a little battered, a little broken. You can equip shield for free, but remember that if you equip a shield and then you need to use your bow, you need to unequip the shield and equip the bow. And as an archer, there's a reason that I don't automatically equip the shield between fights for you, because it makes much more sense that you stay prepared with the bow than the sword. She's a bow fighter. Equip. So I'll put it on the list. Equip shield. Short rest. Can we harness the shield to our forearm though? Nope. Otherwise, why would I have said anything that I just said? Study the rapier. Long rest. Drink whiskey. It'd look so cool. Well, you'd have to find a buckler or something, a small arm shield, which would be a very unique item that realistically you're probably only going to find at maybe a merchant, or if you chose to, you might be able to do something like when you get the something good spin or a Deus Ex or something, you can suggest it then, but it is a very homebrewed thing. There isn't really anything that is just like an arm shield, although I've made a couple in games before. I actually have one. I think Cirrus has one in Cura and has never used the mechanical properties of it. Craft a Molotov with the whiskey. Examine the hammer. It's a symbol, not an actual hammer. Did we take the snake corpses? No, they're on the ground. There was all poison down there. I chose to get you out of the fight and off of the ground. So the entire lower area is poisoned. Shout a portion of the letter into the tunnel. Alright, we'll give you those. I'll see if I can find some, like, gas. So that I'll bring you back to that battle map to give you a better idea of what you're looking at. Short rest is the plan here. Okay. But this is what you're looking at. The bottom layer of this quarry has a mine entrance there, if you can see that. Leary jumped up out of that lower area, which is filled with gas. This is where the snake corpses are. So you little loot bugs who are like, I'll take the I'll be able to sell that for 1 copper. Snakes are in that gas, and there is gas just coming out. It's not as intense as this. That looks like it's like pouring out, but I couldn't find a quicker thing for it. There's just a sort of general smog that's like sort of slowly moving out from within that entranceway. The symbol of the hammer is at the top of this thing here. Leary's probably over here at this point, looking over the thing. Let's take a short rest. Now, this is only an hour, so I'm just going to give it to you for free. Now, on a short rest, you can roll your hit dice. You don't have any more of those left. You get 9 HP back, so back to full HP. The long rest gives you second wind back. Short rest, yeah. I always do this on my character sheets, just so I know. But I get that back on a short. If you get it back on a short rest, you get it back on a long rest as well, right? So you get your second wind back and full HP. As well as taking a sort of a moment here. I think Leary probably moves over. There's like a little tent over here, right? Take shelter underneath this thing, bandaging up their wounds like very, you know, Rambo action hero movie style. Bandaging their wounds, taking a breath, maybe grabbing some like beef jerky out and eating that. Spending maybe about an hour just surveilling the area, surveilling the entranceway, bandaging up their wounds and resting in such a way that they're able to recover. In terms of HP, you're at full HP, but you no longer have any hit dice, so another short rest at this point would do nothing for you, really. But you do recover your second wind ability. I think that's it. That's all you get. Okay. Short rest is complete. What does Leary do now? Any other suggestions as well are welcome. You can equip the shield. You can study the rapier you picked up. You could do a long rest instead, but there's not really any point, so I'm just going to take it off. Your long rest would give you that hit die back. You could craft a Molotov. You could examine the hammer. You could shout a portion of the letter down the tunnel. Does poison bypass AC? No, I don't really understand the question. There's also, it's confusing. There's 2 types of poison. There's poison damage. So when you are hit, it's already gone past the AC element. The attack rolls are attacking. You attack to see if you can roll higher than the person's armor class, their AC. Once that happens, then you move on to damage, how much damage is applied. If it's poison damage, you're already past the AC part anyway, so regardless. The only real thing that reduces damage in that way is something like resistance. So if you had resistance to poison damage, it would do half. But there's also a poisoned condition, which will give you disadvantage on everything, basically. Find a gas mask. Craft some gas protection from clothing. Right. So equip the shield, study the rapier, drink the whiskey, craft a Molotov with the whiskey, examine the hammer symbol, shout a portion of the letter down the tunnel, find a gas mask, or craft some gas protection from clothing. Rip off a piece of clothing and try and make a mask. Something like that. What would you like to do? The choice is yours. You can vote in the Twitch chat room by typing the number. Relevant number to the thing that you want to do. Are there no mundane loot tables in D&D anywhere? It's so annoying. You just have the items. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything in the DMG. They have magic item tables, but they don't have any mundane tables. I have a lot of random ones, but I'd like one that was official. Maybe it's a rapier of gas immunity. We win D&D. We choose to win D&D. And you will allow us, for we are the players, and we are petulant. Do you hear me? We are petulant. Okay, shout a portion of the letter into the tunnel. Is what you voted to do here. Leary maybe finds a vantage point that makes sense. Moving around to the opening into this tunnel, looking down, maybe hanging down a little bit. Leary sort of shouts into this cave.
In the hills, where stone meets salt, find the old tunnel where miners hold.
Hold. Roll me a perception check, chat. Exclamation point. Roll d20 in the chat room. You have a +2 to this perception check. The sound of their voice echoing down the tunnel. Then sort of turning an ear, listening to see if there's any return or anything happens, or is any change, a disturbance in the force, perhaps. +2 added to this. We take the second roll, so keep going. Thank you very much for the subs today. I appreciate it. There's how many in there at the moment? 2, is that correct, Shadow? Trying to reclaim all those lost subs from this morning. An additional bit of XP from Twitch. 266 XP right now. Pretty close to a level up. An 18. +2 is a 20. A dirty 20. Listening. Trying to sort of tune out the thunderstorm and hearing their own voice echo down the tunnel. Nothing. No response, but also no movement, no additional element. It seems as though this tunnel is empty, but also, given the, I guess a 20 is pretty good, it seems like a pretty long tunnel. I mean, this is a dwarven quarry. This tunnel could go on forever. Can we carry several scrolls and just have one readied? Or does equipping one overwrite the old one and we lose that? It's overwrite, yeah. The rule is everyone in the world casts magic through spell scrolls apart from a handful of very special individuals because of an old wizard. Was the rule, right? What was the story? Due to an old wizard. A fool wizard was what it was, performed a wish spell that tore at the very fabric of existence, upending the rules of magic, creating the spell wind, reducing the ability for mere mortals to cast spells with ease, and allowing in the demons, who rule now, I guess, is what I wrote down. So everyone who casts magic casts it through a scroll in their pocket that I imagine just rewrite. Like it's the same paper, but the sigils and the writing on the scroll change and charge with whatever spell is currently imbued in it. So once you use it, you sort of, I imagine they're not even doing this. They just kind of unleash the scroll and then the spell comes out of it. It's sort of how I imagine scroll work to go in this. We haven't done it yet. I don't think you've cast the spell with the scroll. You attempted to once, but had the curse of the scroll being blurry, which I'm going to say is cleared. Because it was on the previous scroll. I think it's fair that it's gone now. No fire can ever be put out in front of you. You're also a natural target for burglars, so I need to make sure you're constantly being robbed. Don't let me forget. I'm going to write it down here on my notes. Constantly being robbed blind. That's what I've written in bold and block caps, and I'm putting right at the top of this fucking thing to remind me every time I log in what that is. I'm going to rob you constantly. So, yeah, you get the sense that there's no one in there, or at least no one close. If there is a resistance group, they're either very far into this tunnel, or extremely stealthy. Back to the poll then. What does Lyri do here? Any other additions before we roll this one again? Fish out the dead snakes. Absolutely obsessed with the dead snakes. You know what would happen to me as soon as I killed these snakes? I wouldn't even think about them ever again. Just waltz straight in, bow at the ready. That's my kind of player right there. Shadow, you're in the game. Hey, Shadow, you can play in my game. Okay? Max, you not allowed. Obsessed with this snake. I have a plan with the snakes. Okay, fine. Now I'm intrigued. It's annoying. Okay, you can play. Fine, get him, bring him back. He can play. Fuck. God damn it. Check if there's another tunnel. There isn't. There isn't one. Here you go. You already did a perception check and got like a 20 or something, so you know everything about the area. Or it was a survival check. Determine where you are. You also are aware that you're quite close to the town, but you're outside of town limits. So you're not actually inside those like town walls. There are a few quarries on the outside of town, and this is one of those. But it's not like very far away at all, probably less than a mile. Examine the hammer symbol is what you want to do next. Okay. Give me an investigation check. You have a -1 to this because you chose int to be your dump stat. As do all petulant players of Dungeons and Dragons. You wanted to make some Gucci snake shoes. He's going to try and take the poison out of them and then put them on the arrows. Because that's what every single player does. There's absolutely no way it's anything other than that. You put something poisonous in front of people. Make them into a long tube gas mask. Oh yeah, that'll work. Because this is a fucking... this is literally Tom and Jerry. That's how that works with a disgusting piece of meat. They just turn into you just pick them up, cut the insides out, and they turn immediately into a hose pipe. Fucking Bugs Bunny rule. I heard this thing the other day where someone said, like, you're Legolas, not Bugs Bunny. You know? Like, yeah, Legolas can do some, like, crazy gravity-defying shit. But, like, Bugs Bunny's doing, like, mad shit. People that are playing D&D think they can just pick up a snake and turn it into a fucking hose pipe in 15 minutes. But I got a natural 20. Doesn't matter. It's still just a fucking sloppy, dead piece of meat with blood and guts and snake skin. You just fucking put it around your mouth. Can I breathe through it? No. You just have dead snake bits and dust and dirt from the ground in your mouth, and you're surrounded by poison. While looking down at the snakes, you see them rot and vanish and disappear in the smoke. The gas, over the course of the hour of the short rest, burns away the snakes. They're gone. No more with the fucking snakes. Okay? No more with the snakes. Now do an investigation check. It's poisonous and corrosive. That's right. The scientist in the chat. Wheel spin for more snakes. I'll allow it. If we get one more wheel spin and it lands on anything negative, another snake will appear. A 10. What was the other roll? An 18. So it's a... What was it? A -1. A 17. That's enough. Who wanted to check the hammer? What are you looking for? I don't know what it is that you want to determine about the examining the rusted hammer. It is a sort of embossed symbol of a hammer that is covered in rust, that is sitting embedded in the top of the opening. Oh, you wanted to see if this was like a button or something like that? Right, so you could see if it would like turn off the fucking gas. Is that the plan? It is not. It is absolutely not like a button or a secret door opening thing. It is literally just a symbol that is kind of awkwardly hanging or sitting on the wood of the top part of this thing. Yeah, the gas is kind of just slowly leaking out from the inside of this place. Right. Yeah, in fact, I'll give you on that 20 because that's what you were intending to do. You're kind of checking for ways to turn this gas off. I would say that you kind of take a little look over the area as well, and you get the sense that there is probably some sort of mechanical device that is sort of slowly pumping gas out from under or from inside of this tunnel system, and it's clearly pushing it this way because it's kind of eking out from inside the entranceway, but it feels like it's a little further in. There's maybe like a little tube or piping or maybe a dead snake that they've used very easily to just push gas out from inside. But you don't see on the outside here any way to turn it off or anything like that. The opening is completely open. You could just walk in. But you'd have to get creative on how to avoid the gas to access this. So with that in mind, what does Leary do? Examine the hammer symbol is gone. Fish out the dead snakes, they're gone. Any other suggestions? Throw a torch in and ignite to clear the gas. Larian thinks that we're playing fucking Divinity Original Sin 2. Climb in from the top, says Jaeger. A spider. Look for a pickaxe and try to mine another way into the tunnel. Thinks we're playing Minecraft. Search around the nearby rings of the quarry. For what? You have access to all information about the quarry on 2 successful checks before, the survival check and the perception check, and to be honest, the investigation check. So you don't really need to roll for that anymore. Turn the cart over and get into its air pocket. Kangaroo. The fire curse keeps being forgotten. What were you looking for, Theory? Because I'll potentially provide the info. Here you go. What does Leary do? Equip the shield, study the rapier, drink the whiskey, craft a Molotov, find a gas mask, craft some gas protection from clothing, waltz straight in, bow at the ready, throw a torch to ignite it and clear the gas, climb in from the top, look for a pickaxe and try to mine another way into the tunnel, or turn a cart over, get in it and use it as an air pocket. What do you want to do? Choice is yours. Dear sweet chat room, friends, children. Fucking waltz straight in. My favorite thing about D&D is how, like, a lot of the time, and I'm absolutely this player too, you go, right, hang on, let's check for traps. There's a trap, there is a trap. Alright. Okay, I'd like to carefully try and get around it. You fail. Did it activate? No. Okay. Fuck it. I fucking explode everything and kick the door in and barrel in. I'm a juggernaut, bitch. Just running straight in. Okay. With, of course, a triple backflip off the top of this quarry. Lyri jumps down into the gas. Pulls the bow from their back and begins to stride forward. However, you're going to have to make me that check again. A Constitution saving throw, please, from the chat room. Try and survive the fumes. And it is a +3 on your con save. Leaping into the thunderstorm and the night sky. Bow on back. Landing as it is removed from shoulder and back. Looking and peering forward into this tunnel. Dark vision adjusting partially and seeing nothing more than a tunnel stretching out ahead of them. The smog and poison of the fumes of this noxious, toxic gas. Once again, stinging Lyri's eyes, clogging the back of their throat. Let's see if you can survive. You've got to roll a Constitution saving throw with a +3 to it. Keep rolling. I know you're all bored. Everyone wants to go home. Let's see what you. Let's see how you do here. An 8. Oh, it's not enough, is it? You have a +3. You have to beat a 12. I'll let you pick again. Would you rather take poison damage? Take the poisoned condition. Choice is yours. But you have failed by 1. How long does the condition last? You don't know. You do know that it will be a d6 of poison damage. The condition could be 1 minute, could be 1 hour, could be permanent. Poison damage. Alright. 1d6. Max damage again. I'm so good at rolling. You look so good in blue. You look so good in blue. Lyri steps in to the quarry. Stepping into the tunnel. If only you'd cast Enhance ability. We see Lyri step into this tunnel. The fumes and the noxious gas still pushing forward. The dark vision on Lyri's eyes kicking in as the tunnel stretches out ahead. The sound of the thunderstorm giving way to the sounds of a hollow cavern system ahead of Lyri. And that is where we end today's session. Tune in next week to discover what is inside. Too late! Too late, motherfucker. Too late, motherfucker. Tune in next week to discover what is inside the cavern, and whether you will slowly die of noxious toxic fumes. Thank you for playing, everyone. It's 18 for Twitch. I said it was too late, motherfucker. What did I say? Too late, motherfucker. Alright, fine. I'll give you 268 XP for today's session. Congratulations. You are now still level 1. Alright. That's the end of this session. That was a good one. Again, this continues to be the most legit, not legit D&D game of all time. This is just how legit D&D is as a game, I think. Maybe. You can play it so easily. It's so accessible to generate a story like this. Is so very possible. You can do it with 100 people. Very enjoyable. Barely survived that fight with the snakes. I knew it would be tough, but I was kind of expecting that you'd just slap something with 2 HP very easily. But that's not D&D, man. That's not D&D, man. Let's see, what do we got going on? Tomorrow, we're going to continue playing Space Marine, but we're going to do the co-op thing with Maya and Leah. So tune in for that if you want. Big Man Space Marine. Next Sunday, we'll continue playing this. However, if you'd like to watch some quote-unquote real D&D, head on over to Table Story. There is a new show starting this week that is run by me called Non-Canon, which has a sort of slight element of chat interaction. It's not quite on this level because that would be too difficult to do, really. But you can get involved. So if you want to see that, that'll be on Friday at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern USA, or whatever that is for the rest of you. Alternatively, you can watch Cura on Tuesdays, which I also run. 4-player campaign, homebrew setting. And on Mondays, we run a Pathfinder game, which is GM'd by Wax Steven. If you like Pathfinder, you can watch that too. A whole host of great role players and streamers in all of these shows. Is non-canon actually non-canon? Yes, it is. It is non-canon. So if that sounds fun to you, I'll see you for that. That's what I've been working on. It's why I'm so tired. They gave me 2 weeks to create an entire D&D game and prep it for a show. And I've been working on it non-stop. I'm absolutely exhausted. So we'll see you there for that one if you want to watch it. I'll see you then. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow for more Space Marine. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the subs. I'm knackered. Dude, these are so tiring. My brain is officially let go. Go see Maya. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace. The trailers are up for non-canon. If you want to watch them, they are pinned in the Table Story Discord non-canon channel.